but it doesn't matter. We are live, continuing coverage with our multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that we have ongoing right now. We have more than 10, because 13 is more than 10, so 13 now, I think 14 severe thunderstorm warnings. And this is going to be something that's going to continue over the next couple of hours, so we're going to be here for at least the next couple of hours, inshallah. We're confident there's absolutely no tornado threat. You can see up at the top right now, that way, up at the top right now, it says late tornado possible. That means there is a chance of seeing a tornado. I'm not muted. Haha, I checked that, Seagray. Thought you were going to get me. Already checked, but welcome in, everyone. Unfortunately, we can no longer say L Nightbot, because now that I am live, Nightbot knows that we are live, and Nightbot will be moderating the chat. So, Nightbot is back and ready to ban anyone who may be using more than 3 capital letters in his chat, or in their chats. But, yeah. I do think our main area of interest that we're going to be talking about here pretty soon will be this tornado watch over here in or not tornado watch, my bad, severe thunderstorm watch over here in, oh, there's the first message deleted by Nightbot. It's already running rampant. But this will be the main area of interest. So we have quite a few hailstorms and possible tornado storms over here in parts of Colorado across our severe thunderstorm watch. And this is going to be what we're talking about for a majority of the day. We actually did just get a downgrade to our considerable severe thunderstorm warning in Colorado that include Pueblo and Huehuetlán counties. That is now 60-mile-per-hour winds and downgraded to 1.5-inch sized hail as well. So I don't think we have any considerable severe thunderstorm warnings. No, we do still have a few. I believe this is a warning that they just downgraded, but that one at least is no longer considerable. Welcome in, everyone who is watching Max. We're going to be continuing coverage here. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. This is something we do any day where there's a continuing severe threat. We didn't go live after the last stream just because basically nothing was happening, and there were still storm chasers that were live, so we redirected there. But in the event of, like today, where we do still have weather going on after Max's stream is done, we're going to be covering it over here. Max touched on this, but this tornado watch, basically no tornado threat there. All the storms have moved out of the area, but I'm probably not going to see a cancellation to that just because it's only in effect for another 35 minutes. But the tornado threat across our tornado watch is very, very quickly diminishing. I do have my eye on these storms over here near Pittsburgh. Definitely no imminent tornado threat. However, there is a damaging wind threat here and there. This is something that has tried to spin up a quick tornado here a couple of times today, but very, very low chance of that happening. Bryce Shelton, thanks to you so much for the $20 super chat, guys. We need W's in the chat for Bryce Shelton. Bryce Shelton and Tornado Pagey are one of the great storm chasers that we have over on Max's stream, and they are always as close to a tornado as you can somewhat safely be. I'm sure everyone remembers that crazy tornado that we had a few weeks ago where there were a bunch of people right next to an almost stationary tornado. I think it was in Nebraska. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. But they were the closest, and they only lost 4 windows shooting the video during that tornado. But I do think we're going to be mostly talking about this area over here near Denver. Sean, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Can the Dibble dribble? You must be 7'5". Actually, Max is 8'7". Everyone knows that. I'm actually 8'8", so just a little taller than Max. Promise. What does it look like for Indianapolis? So Indianapolis, we have a slew of special weather statements. You can see those are all those brown polygons we have here off to your west. This is for, I believe, 50 mile per hour winds. So no severe storms, and these are in fact dying storms as well, but they will probably make it to Indianapolis, producing at least 40 mile per hour winds. How's Baltimore, Maryland? We'll go take a look at Baltimore. We actually do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings in the area of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. This is mainly a flash flooding threat, in my opinion. But there is still going to be these gusty winds. This is warned for 70 mile per hour winds right now. We're probably going to see a new warning there. But I do think here pretty quickly we're going to be talking about more flash flooding than damaging winds, just because so many of these storms sit still. Welcome in, Connor Croft. Cap, I was the closest to Wellfleet. I think, actually, I don't remember the exact positions, but at one point you were the closest, and at another point, Bryce Shelton and Tornado Page, you were the closest. But you two were the ones that were playing tag with that tornado. Everyone say hi to Connor. We need to give Connor the good old blue name. Wellfleet, that was the name of that tornado. I don't know why, it was slipping my mind. Literally one of the greatest tornadoes of all time, and it slipped my mind. Tornado of the decade, in my opinion. Has there been any additional development on Invest 93L? Honestly, 93L is living up to the L in its name, and it's being a complete L, and I do not expect any tropical development out of that. Wind starting to pick up west of Indianapolis? Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. What Fortnite POV would you most want to survive a tornado in? You know, funny enough, when they did have tornadoes in Fortnite, that was one of the seasons where I was still playing competitive, and in FNCS semis, we got a zone, or the final moving zone, that was fully inside of a tornado. I came third in that game. It was complete luck. It's just who can survive in the tornado the best. Connor Croft is 4'11". Now that's the most true thing I've ever seen in my chat. Kidding. Connor Croft is not 4'11". He's probably 5 foot on a good day. Where are you guys watching from? Are you inside the risk area? If so, we're going to make sure to go take a really close-up look at any storms that are in your area. So let me know where you're watching from. I do think we might have storm chasers over in Colorado. Let me take a look. Alright, we do have one storm chaser over there, so I'm going to use the camera program thingy dingy and go ahead and pull that storm chaser so we can have a closer look at some of the storms we have ongoing in Colorado. Setting that up real quick. Ooh, I need the RTMP, not M3U8. That is the link we're looking for. So this is going to be Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl over in Colorado. Let me move my... Oop, that's not it. Oh, and I just lost all of my windows. Beautiful. Alright, they're back up now. This is Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl. He's over on those storms in Colorado. He's over here near this storm that's near Fort Morgan and Hill Rose right now. Tennessee, Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. So it seems like a lot of us are watching from northern Indiana, where we do still have that severe thunderstorm watch. These storms are also in the process of diminishing. Oh, and look, that other camera just came back. Boo. All right, now that's Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl. Might see a little ground scraping wall cloud action over there when it gets closer to a storm. There has been reports of at least some rotation on the storm to the northeast of Fort Morgan. I'm not seeing anything considerable on radar right now, but a tornado possible tag is still continuing. It's right in this area of range folding right now, so it's kind of impossible to see what's ongoing on that storm on radar. But that's why we have our storm chasers, get that ground truth. Western Pennsylvania. Yeah, we do have a few storms in Western Pennsylvania as well. Severe thunderstorm warning that includes the Pittsburgh area right now. Going to be darting all back and forth today. Kind of all of these warnings that we have. Loud thunder in Terre Haute, Indiana. Yep. Those are these special weather statements for 50-mile-per-hour winds that are making the way, or their way through the area. I love when I accidentally click on METARs. Nothing better. Can you get a fast food top 5? See, now that's a challenging question. We're going to go Dave's Hot Chicken, Cane's, McDonald's, Culver's, and I don't even know what to put in number 5. How about Sam's Club, just because that's a cheap hot dog right there. That's basically fast food. Grand Rapids, Michigan. We do have some storms in Michigan, not really posing a severe threat right now, more of a flash flooding threat. All over Michigan. Grand Rapids, you're down here, of course, but given the full Michigan picture. What's Dave's Hot Chicken? Dave's Hot Chicken is like Cane's, but instead of just doing chicken fingers, they flavor their chicken and it tastes better. How's the Cleveland, Ohio area look? Cleveland, Ohio, you guys are looking good. I mean, there are some scattered thunder boomers in the area, but none of those are severe. We did just get an update to our severe thunderstorm warning for Pueblo and Huerfano counties in Colorado. That's been upgraded to 1.5-inch sized hail. That is the one down here. Definitely producing some hail, so that is ping pong ball sized hail. I do think we still may see a sneaky little spin-up tornado in this area. There is a 2% risk, and normally when there's a 2% risk in Colorado, you get some random photogenic landspout tornado in the middle of nowhere. So that's why we're still live, is waiting for that to happen. Closest Dave's Hot Chicken is over 30 minutes away. Hey, it's worth it. Seen a few people asking about this storm to the northeast of Dodge City. We're not going to talk about this storm northeast of Dodge City. We're going to talk about our new tornado warning in Colorado. So Morgan counties and Washington counties in Colorado, you are now under a tornado warning. I believe that is this storm here. The warning will be on Radar Mega in a second. We use the wire for our behind-the-scenes warning program, and it is quicker than literally anything else in existence. So, yep, this is for our storm that Ryan Shoal is almost on. This is a radar-indicated tornado warning, also producing golf ball-sized hail. This warning is in effect for another 23 minutes. For some reason, my other program that runs the overlay does not run off the wire. It runs off the API. The API is behind wire, and this hasn't updated, but it should update. Yeah, there it updates. So we do have one tornado warning right now, and that tornado warning is in Colorado. Enlightened Truth Seeker, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. So we're going to keep an eye on this storm, at least for the next couple of minutes, because this is our only tornado warned storm. See it moving off there rather quickly to the southeast. This tornado warning does include a population of 196 people. If you are one of those 196 people, make sure you're seeking a sturdy structure, the most interior room of your house. If you If you don't have a or if you're in a mobile home, seek anywhere else besides a mobile home. Mobile homes are often damaged by winds much less than what a tornado can produce. If you're in a house and you don't have a basement, go find your bathroom. Your bathtub is a very safe place, or a very safe place to be. And go ahead and bring a blanket with you, maybe a bike helmet. Do literally anything you can to protect yourself. How does Max get warnings to pop up on his screen? Same way I do, funny enough. I just haven't set that up on this specific OBS scene, which I need to do. There's a bunch of stuff that I have like half set up on OBS, and hopefully by the next time we're live, I'll have that all finished off. I just don't like doing anything unless it's quite literally perfect and it's been tested, and I haven't finished thoroughly testing it. Yeah, if your stream is black, YouTube did give some weird message about something weird happening on YouTube's end, so go ahead and refresh the stream. I can see that we're still pushing at 10,000 kilobytes a second. So everything is good on my end. Just go ahead and refresh the stream. YouTube is a little weird with how some of their stream stuff works sometimes. We had some of those issues a couple of days ago. Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl is making his way towards this tornado warning. Wonder, I think he's got a... No, he doesn't have a spotter dot. Dang it. What app / how do you set up warning pop-ups? So unfortunately, a bunch of this stuff is custom coded. Like almost anything that you have like pop up on a stream is all custom. So everything I have is custom. I literally coded like the overlay you see where it says tornado warning at the top, the counts above my head, and this thing right here that shows the ticker of all the warnings ongoing. Those are all literally custom coded. I have a 1,400 line Python script controlling all of this. Give me a second here. I'm gonna pull my other radar app that you guys can't see over here. It shows me a bunch of information that no one else cares about, but I do. So one thing that I was looking at, and I think a few other people in chat were recognizing as well, is it does look like we're getting a much larger hail core on this. We can start to see those higher reflectivity values start to tick in here. As of the latest radar scan, it looks like our maximum expected hail size with this storm is 3 inches in diameter. Actually, if we flip over to correlation coefficient, you can see that it looks like we have this giant streak of CC drop. That's not actually CC drop. That is a contamination that occurs with our correlation coefficient when there's a large or a lot of small hail or very large hail. So that's what we're seeing there, and that's another indication that we do have large hail ongoing with this storm. Oh, it's out of Baja Blast. That's sad. What's your Twitter account? My Twitter account is simco12_WX. I believe I have the link in the description below. Chipotle or Chick-fil-A? I don't have a Chipotle here yet. They've actually been building it for what seems like the past 4 years. But hopefully it opens pretty soon. Right above my head, actually, I think I'm going to go full screen to him here in a second. The storm chaser Ryan Scholl, he's on this storm in Colorado, and you can start to see the base of this. So that is this storm right here. And this is what his feed looks like when I full screen it. So hopefully this hill drops down, and yeah, you can kind of start to see the base of that storm right over in this area here. Can't see if there's a tornado on it, but there could be decently soon if there's not already. So, whoa. Windows is being all silly. But I'll keep that feed above my head there. The velocities look contaminated to you. Yeah, so the velocities are a little bit contaminated. Basically, anything you see in this region here, which is right here on velocity, that is contamination. There's not enough reflectivity there to get a proper velocity reading, so don't look at that. But we can look at all of the other stuff and see that we do have at least some rotation here, a little convergence signature. This could be where our tornado is. I think we're also quite far away from the radar site. Yeah, our beam height is just a tad under 6,000 feet above the ground, so we're not getting a perfect view of what's ongoing in the lower levels of the storm. So very important to tornado warn this, just because you never know what might be going on where the radar beam isn't. Rachel, thanks so much for the $5 super chat for when Chipotle opens. Hopefully soon. I could mess up a burrito right now. Have a graphic camera actually that's inside this tornado warning. Let me pull that up real quick. So this is very square looking and kind of hard to see what's going on, but you can see that it's very rainy and very windy. This is a traffic camera from the Colorado Department of Travel that's inside this warning. Can't see much that's going on. I'm going to put that over on my other monitor here, and if we see something pick up on that, I will pull that up and show you guys that. Felicia, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Please talk about Michigan. Yeah, we'll go over to Michigan quick. Once again, this tornado warning in Colorado is for Morgan and Washington counties. Over in Michigan, we do have a few scattered storms. One of these is special weather warned, or special weather statement warned, I guess, all the way down by Sturgis. Other than that, we have nothing too insane going on in Michigan. There are still general scattered thunderstorms. None of these look like they're going to produce a tornado or any insane damaging winds right now. But we do still have storms going on in Michigan, and I have my eye on them on one of my other monitors. Batman, thanks so much for becoming a 5% channel member, and that's your second month with the channel. So W's in the chat for Batman. Yeah, we can talk about the tsunami real quick. Thanks for the $5 super chat. I'm gonna say that wrong. Mashian. There's no N at the end of that. I mess it up. Tell me how to say your name so I don't say it wrong next time. But the Alaska tsunami is over. There is no more warning or advisory for the area. The maximum tsunami height that we had was 0.2 feet. Luckily, it was a high or low tide as well. So none of those impacts from that tsunami happened anywhere where the storm wasn't, or where water isn't already supposed to be. But we still did have a tsunami. I should do this. There we go. All right. Pulling up another monitoring window here. Need more radar. Always need more radar. Where are you at? I am in central Wisconsin. So far, far away from these tornado warnings. Felicia, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. If you got gifted a membership, which looks like Kyle. Oh, YouTube chat's being slow. Kyle, Katie, My Crazy Cat, and Jim. Go ahead and thank Felicia and everyone else as well. Thank Felicia for those 5 gifted channel memberships. Did just get a new flash flood warning, including Beaver, Butler, Lawrence, and Allegheny counties in Pennsylvania. We'll fly over to that real quick. That is just to the north of Pittsburgh, where we've seen quite a little bit of rainfall, and rain still ongoing. We've seen 1 to 3 inches of rain, and we're going to see another 1 to 2 inches of rain from the convection that we have moving over the top of the radar site in Moon Township right now. So Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl above my head. Let me pull him up to the full screen real quick. Has a much better view of this thunderstorm now. You can't really see if there's a tornado down yet. He's still just a little bit too far away from it, but we can tell that it's definitely a mean-looking thunderstorm that we have going on right now. Going to turn his audio on real quick, and we can listen in to what he's saying. If he's saying anything. And his audio's not working. W. Well, I'll work on that. Try and figure out why that audio's not working. Properties. Alright. Oh, I see why it's not working. Good old Windows audio inputs.
I don't see anything touching the ground or anything. I think very large hail is going to be a very big issue here with this. All right,
now we got that audio working. He was talking about how he can't see a tornado, but he is expecting some very large hail with this storm. Once again, this is our tornado warning storm in Morgan and Washington counties, Colorado. Definitely has a very strong base on it.
It looks like the lowering is not as low as it probably was initially. That was what we thought, but again, still tornado warned, so a pretty nasty situation here in Colorado. I don't see anything happening yet, so we're fine.
Alright, looks like he's going into a dead zone, so we're going to go ahead and mute that real quick. Put him back over into the corner, and whenever he does get better service, and if he gets a better view of that, we'll go ahead and take a closer look at that storm. I do think we're going to see an extension of this tornado warning. It's set to expire in 10 minutes. Probably going to see another one for this area here. May include all the way to Akron, Colorado. A lot more warnings being updated all around the US. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the multi-radar real quick and just touch on all the warnings that we have going on. So we have one over here in the extreme southeastern corner of Wyoming, just barely includes Cheyenne. A bunch of different severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in Colorado across our severe thunderstorm watch. We have one in Kansas, one in Missouri, one in Illinois, one in Indiana, and then a couple in Virginia and New Jersey as well. So a lot of severe weather going on, but the most significant is still what we have going on in Colorado right now. Is everything past Denver? Yes, everything is past Denver at this point. We may see a few storms try and bubble up from some of this vorticity that we have here off to your west, but I don't think anything significant is going to come out of that. Rolling through some reports here. It sounds like we still have a lot of damage reports coming out of Illinois and Wisconsin from earlier, mostly trees down here and there. We did get confirmation that our severe thunderstorm warning in Kansas is still producing severe winds. 59 mile per hour wind gusts got reported out of that, and you can see the massive outflow boundary from the storm that we have ongoing right now. All of this area here, this line that you're seeing, is winds that are coming out of the thunderstorm from the outflow region. This has been upgraded to a considerable severe thunderstorm warning as of the last upgrade. No tornado expected with that storm, but 1.75 inch hail and 75 mile per hour winds are all reasons for that to be a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. It does look like this storm is trying to dogleg, so what that means is if you look at this area convection here, it looks like it's starting to push out. That would be, or that basically mean that we have very, very strong outflow. Hopefully a strong outflow can start to inhibit our tornado threat with this storm. But it is still posing a tornado threat for the current time, and that's why the tornado warning continues for the next 7 minutes. Radar indicated hail is now up to 3.24 inches with this storm as well. It's only warned for golf ball size, probably producing much larger than that. There's no chance of a tornado today in New Jersey. Basically, this 2% tornado risk in Colorado is the only spot that we still have a significant, or not really even significant, even a chance of a tornado. Tomorrow we do have a very, very small 2% risk in Vermont and New York. I do think they're probably going to expand that a little bit further to the south, and that it could include New Jersey. But obviously, we're not going to know that until they update that outlook later on. 3.24 is very specific. Well, radar is very specific, and now it's saying 3.30. So, just as specific, but slightly larger. They just get a new tornado warning for this storm in Colorado, so this is going to be in effect for another, actually doesn't say how long it's going to be in effect yet. Will remain in effect until 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's another 35 minutes from now. That warning is right there, and this does include Akron, Colorado. We also did see an upgrade to that hail risk. We were talking about this. The radar indicated hail of upwards of 3 inches in diameter. Akron, Colorado, you're now included in this tornado warning. So if you're in Akron or any other area that may be in this warning, make sure you're going to the most interior room of your house. If you're in a mobile home, go ahead and seek a more sturdy shelter. Mobile homes are not a good place to be in tornadoes. If you have a house that doesn't have a basement, go to your bathroom, bring your bike helmet, bring your blankets, bring anything you can. Remember whenever you do go into shelter, you should bring your shoes with you as well. If a tornado does impact your home, there's going to be debris everywhere, and you want to make sure you're going to be as safe as possible when it comes to escaping that. And if you're not in this tornado warning, you're thinking about, well, what if I was in a tornado warning? The best thing to do is actually prepare ahead of time. All those things that you just heard me list, put those closer to your safe spot, have a designated safe spot, and know what you're going to do in the event of a tornado warning. So when that does happen, you can be one step ahead of everything going on. I think, actually, we're going to have to test it next time we get a warning. But I think I just fixed the audio on the warnings, actually. So next time that we get a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, you guys are going to have to tell me how loud that audio is. I need more audio output devices so I can control everything individually, but as of right now, I do not have that. Candy, thank you so much for renewing your membership and becoming a 5% channel member for another month. Everyone needs to spam W's in the chat for Candy. So only 2 tornado warnings right now, both on the same storm in Colorado here, but this is going to continue to pose a tornado threat for at least the next half hour or so. Hayden, that is Atmos alerts that you can hear. That is the audio that I just managed to fix the output on. So every time you heard like a doodling noise in the background, that's either an updated or a new severe thunderstorm flash flood warning. And then obviously anytime you hear the beeping noise, that is a severe or a new tornado warning or an updated tornado warning. Pretty soon here, we're going to hear the updated tornado warning when they update this tornado warning in Colorado. So we're going to test that out. Question, where should a person go in a tornado warning if every room has windows and a shower only with glass doors in it? If the shower has a glass door on it, that's a little less dangerous than a exterior glass window per se. Still just make sure you're doing anything you can to protect yourself from that glass if that glass were to shatter. So bring a blanket with you, cover yourself with a blanket, and it'll protect you from that glass. Is Nightbot chill today? I actually haven't seen Nightbot slapping too many people yet today. And as I said that, Slinky Daymaker just got slapped by Nightbot for saying Mr. Dibble. Wow. Does the severe thunderstorm warning near Dodge City have a chance to latch onto the boundary? There is a boundary there, and I believe it's its own boundary. It's not really a pre-existing boundary, so it has a very, very low chance of latching onto that. Most of this is actually cold air that the storm itself has pushed out in front of it. So that is basically just going to be damaging winds associated with that storm here. We actually did just get a special weather statement for 50 to 55 mile per hour winds that was observed by a public weather station. That is actually the outflow of the storm way, way, way out ahead of it. It'd have to reach many, many miles. We can actually use the Radar Mega Measure tool to measure that. Yeah, 11.83 miles is how far that storm would have to reach out in front of itself to actually access the air that could potentially produce a tornado. And even if it did latch onto that boundary, it would probably not produce anything too significant. Felicia, thanks so much for upgrading to a 5% channel member. I crawl under my trailer. If you're in a mobile home and you're trying to seek shelter from a tornado warning, honestly, the best bet is to get into your car. And if you have like a ditch in your area, honestly, it's going to sound insane, but go ahead and drive your car into the ditch. That's actually something Reed Timmer has done. I'm sure a bunch of you know Reed Timmer. But if you drive a vehicle into the ditch, it is actually much more safe than being in just a vehicle in general. And it is going to be more safe than being in a mobile home. Obviously, it's still not a good situation at all either way. But also, if you're in your car, go ahead, take a look at that warning polygon. Obviously, know which way the storm is moving before you attempt to drive away from a tornado warning. But if you have like 10-15 minutes per se, and you know you can get to the east or the west of that tornado, go ahead and do that. But you just have to know which way that storm's moving. Go ahead and click on that warning. There's a bunch of information in here that's important to you, and that it will help you decide, make those decisions if you need to make those decisions. Like for this one, you can see this moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So if a storm's moving to the southeast, you should probably go to the west to get away from that. Probably the southwest. Just go the exact opposite direction. But whatever you do, don't drive in front of an area where there may be a tornado. There's also, I don't know the link, but there is a public list of every single tornado shelter that's open to the public. Go ahead and look at that list before you even have a tornado warning in your area. Know where your nearest public tornado shelter is, and have that plan ahead of time so you know what you have to do in the event of a tornado. This is also interesting. The storm hasn't even gotten here, and we're already seeing 36 mile per hour wind gusts in Akron. Kylie says, I was a block away from the worst damage area of the Nashville 2020 tornado, and we didn't have any internal rooms either. We huddled in the internal hallway and grabbed every cushion thing we could. That is a perfect example of what you should do in a bad situation. Anything that you can put between yourself and a potential tornado and or debris is a good thing. Getting sketchy here in southwestern Indiana. Yeah, we can go take a look at southwestern Indiana. We do have a couple of storms moving through the area there. They're a special weather statement warned. I'm surprised we don't have a special weather statement for this convection that we have ongoing near Jasper and Washington. But this is only producing 50 mile per hour winds and maybe some very, very small hail up to pea size. Wendy, thank you so much for renewing your 2% channel member. There was a video I saw the other day. I wish I could show it on stream, but it was actually on TikTok. It was a mobile home, and it wasn't, or not even a mobile home. It was a camper, which is actually structurally comparable to a mobile home, and it was just 50-mile-per-hour winds that managed to roll the camper 3 times, and the camper completely collapsed in on itself. I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen that video, but it is a perfect example of why you don't want to be in a mobile home or a camper during a tornado warning. When we get thunderstorms in mid-Michigan, you're actually looking at a decaying line of severe thunderstorms. There is still some bubbling convection to the north of Grand Haven and Grand Rapids. Those are obviously going to be producing thunder just because they're thunderstorms. That's what they do. But I don't actually see much redevelopment. We talked about this a little bit earlier about how Lake Michigan was actually going to help to really limit our severe and tornado potential. And that is exactly what it did. Edward says we got sideswiped by the March tornado in Pocahontas, Arkansas. Mostly blew trash around our yard and pushed in the garage door. A couple of neighbors lost entire shops. Perfect example about how even the least significant tornadoes, I believe that was an EF2 tornado. I might be wrong off the top of my head, but even these low-end tornadoes per se produce a ton of damage and are a threat to life and property. But glad you made it through it. I was sure that you were taking accurate or needed and necessary precautions. And all of you guys here, we have 5,000 of you watching right now, over 5,000 actually, who are watching and staying focused on severe weather way more than everyone else is. And even by just watching this stream, whether it's mine or Max's, you guys are one step ahead of everyone else. Kelly says, I live in a mobile home and have to drive 15 minutes to a safe spot, so timing is a big thing for me. Also have a special needs kid. I have to get ready, so it's hectic for me. Bad storm anxiety. The best thing that because actually this, I'm trying to think of, yeah, so my 6th grade, or not my 6th grade, it was my 6th grade. My 6th grade homeroom and history teacher, she was actually impacted by a tornado when she was very young in Iowa. And one of the things that they learned from that is that they were unprepared. And the one thing that she always tells everyone is you have these tornado sirens that go off once a month. They do that for a reason. They're testing those tornado sirens. So that's actually a perfect time to go ahead and sort of take action and practice what you would do if there's an actual situation where there was a tornado on the ground. Especially with children, it's really good to have them in that routine of taking shelter. So when something does happen, they know exactly what they need to do. So maybe next time the local tornado sirens are being tested in any way, shape, or form, maybe do it once a month. I think a lot of places do it sometime during the first week. Go ahead and practice doing that severe weather routine. If you do that, when it does happen, you're going to be much, much more prepared for it to happen. Obviously, if they test them daily or weekly, you don't need to do it every single day or every single week. But every now and again, it doesn't hurt to practice your tornado warning or severe weather warning safety plan. Obviously, a lot of you probably went to school in the United States, and I think it's every April 15th or sometime in there, we do an entire almost United States-wide severe weather drill where every single school goes ahead and practices their severe weather protocols. They do those for a reason, and that's something you can do yourself as well. And even if you don't have tornado sirens, it's not bad to just set a time and be like, okay, at X time, we're going to drop whatever we're doing, go ahead and practice this. And my dogs are barking. W dogs. First Tuesday of every week. Now that is a lot of tornado siren testing. Our tornado warning does continue for another 22 minutes. I'm hoping they're going to update it here pretty soon so we can actually test to see whether or not you guys can hear the audio and how extremely loud it is for you. Rolling through some storm reports here. Still a lot coming out of Illinois and Wisconsin. Also sounds like out of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, they're reporting greater than a foot of water flowing over Lebanon Church Road at Pennsylvania 850 or 885. So if you're in the area, you know where that is. Don't drive on that road. Yeah, if you guys don't have tornado sirens and are still looking on or still interested in practicing or having a way to practice tornado warning protocols, get weather radio. Those go off quite frequently with tests. I believe it's every Wednesday at noon. And that's another way that you can receive warnings. That's a 120 decibel siren and a little tiny, it's about this big, the WR120 from Midland. And that's another way that you can test it out and know what to do. Almost everywhere in the U.S. does have weather radio coverage. There are occasional outages with that as well, so it's important to not rely on those as your only warning, but it's another source that you can get your warning from. Melissa, thanks so much for the $10 super chat and the kind words as well. Gamer Does Something says, my family house got grazed by the outer winds and EF2 on April 2nd with very minimal damage, but it scared the crap out of me. Lifted pretty close to us too. Just another example of how dangerous tornadoes are. Unfortunately, I think especially with tornadoes, it takes sort of that one close call before people really take them seriously. Also, I'm not sure if you're seeing what's going on above my head. This feed is not frozen. I'm pretty sure Shoal has been sitting at this intersection for like 6-7 minutes now. City of Denver has a map where tornado sirens are in the county borders for all public. Another great thing to look at. We are down to 9 severe thunderstorm warnings now, by the way. Got an update to a severe thunderstorm warning in Mississippi and Louisiana. Now tagged for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch sized hail, or less than 7.5-inch sized hail. We have 2 weather radios, and today it woke me up from my nap and made my 1-month-old cry. Like how loud it is, gives me chills every time. Hey, well, the good news is, if it's waking up your 1-year-old and you, it's doing the exact job that it's supposed to do. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that it's tested as frequently as it is, but when it's literally a life or death situation, when people are relying on those warnings, it is important to test it quite frequently. Are the tornado parameters any more favorable once this moves out of Colorado into Kansas/Nebraska? The answer to that is no, actually. You see this green line here that's moving through our tornado warning? That is actually the 2% tornado risk line. So we're actually moving out of the risk area here pretty soon. I think my the display for my weather station that I was testing here earlier just died, and now it's making a horrific noise. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in so it stops making said horrific noise. Just flicking on and off. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Chair reveal? Yeah, little chair stream action. Who doesn't love a chair stream? Part-time streamer? Sounds like you're not live. Does Riley live in an apartment? No, I do not. Everybody say hi to this Max Velocity guy. Big time weather streamer right there. Yeah, he's been stuck here. Last time we talked about Ryan Scholl being stuck was when his timer was at 38 minutes. We're up to 42 minutes now, and he has not moved 1 inch. Can I send you a real chair? What's wrong with my knockoff Amazon gamer chair? I love this chair. I've had this chair forever. And it's the most comfortable chair I have as well. Look, we're getting an update on the storm from his parked location there in Colorado. Poor Ryan. He's probably at one of those like stupid one-way construction lights that you never get to drive through because they just sit there and don't do anything the entire time. No, it's not frozen. He's just basically stuck in the exact same spot. This tornado warning is going to continue for another 15 minutes, by the way. This is basically all we've been looking at, and that's because it's our only tornado warning. All the other severe thunderstorms are actually starting to die out. We do still have a few scattered severe thunderstorm warnings across the East Coast, but not really. Those are also starting to die out. Down to 4 severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 tornado warning across the entire U.S. Mango67 just said, do you have 6-7 mangoes with mustard? Elite ball knowledge required. How's the DC area looking? We can go look at the DC area. We did have severe thunderstorm warnings here. However, I believe what happened is we didn't see any observed wind speeds when they went over the weather stations in the area, so they did allow those warnings to expire. Still a lot of lightning. I mean, you guys can see all the different lightning strikes that we have over in the DC area. It's actually far off to the west of DC, but we're going to call it the DC area over in Virginia. Watch that Fort Morgan storm develop on my way home from work. Towering thunderstorm. Yeah, I do. I was looking at this on my other radar app that I have up in the background. But yeah, this storm is almost 50,000 feet tall. So definitely a very tall storm, although it's not as tall as storms get. Sometimes we see them upwards of 60,000 feet. Ryan Scholl is moving, guys. Do you see that above our head? He is once again driving. W's in the chat for Colorado traffic in the middle of nowhere for finally being able to move. Edward, thank you so much for the $3.59 PayPal donation. From my angle of this storm, from my house, looks pretty bad. Are you looking at this storm in Colorado or one of the other 4 severe thunderstorm warnings that we have? So a few people asking about the storms in Indy and asking whether or not they'll move into Cincinnati. They are going to move most likely in towards Cincinnati. I mean, they're already producing winds just below 40 mile per hour. We did get a ASOS that reported a 50 mile per hour wind gust, a 51 mile per hour wind gust actually. But these storms are very, very quickly diminishing. So by the time they get to Cincinnati, they are going to be at or just below special weather statement criteria. Does still look like, even though velocity is rather contaminated, this is probably not a couplet, but we do still have broad rotation on this tornado warned storm in Colorado. They must have heard me asking about whether or not they were going to issue a continuation to this warning or an update to it, because they didn't. They just haven't. And in that last scan, it looks even more contaminated as it's gone all green. That is a look at our storm, by the way, above my head from storm chaser Ryan Scholl, who's out there in Colorado. That was Torrington, Wyoming. It worked. Haha. Did you guys hear it, and how loud was it? Torrington, Wyoming, not much going on. They heard me complaining about them not issuing an update to it. So they updated it. But this warning has now been continued as a tornado warning. They've also very much so downgraded our hail threat. We are down from tennis ball sized hail to ping pong ball sized hail. That's 1.5 inches in diameter. Okay, so we have people saying good volume level, immediately followed up by ah my ears, loud AF, heard, and then another great volume. It's supposed to jump scare you a little bit. It's not supposed to be completely quiet. What about Kansas City? Not much going on in the Kansas City area. Actually, I lied. They just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this. So this is for 1-inch sized hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Just a little storm that popped up here along a boundary. No tornado potential with this, but going to be producing some gusty winds. They heard me say that not much is going on and immediately issued that severe thunderstorm warning. Literally issued that 22 seconds ago, according to my warning program. Huntsville, Alabama, you guys are looking good. The storm in Akron is rotating. That's why there's a tornado warning that's in effect for another 8 minutes, being that they just issued a continuation to that tornado warning 2 minutes ago. I would expect that they're probably going to issue another tornado warning off to the southeast of this. But we will see in 8 minutes whether or not they're going to allow this warning to expire and or issue a new one. Is Max going to stream this storm tomorrow? So tomorrow actually looks really quiet. Let me go ahead and pull that outlook up real quick. It's a very large marginal risk, but nothing too crazy is going to be going on with that. There's a tiny 2% tornado risk in New York and Vermont. If for whatever reason we did see a sizable expansion to this tornado risk or an upgrade to a 5%, we would be on standby. But as of now, we are not planning to be on standby for that risk tomorrow. The storm near Akron, Ohio does not appear to be rotating. I don't think we have any rotating storms in Ohio right now. 7 minutes now left on this tornado warning. The velocities are looking a little better, albeit or still contaminated. Tripping over my words. You've been admitted into the pipeline. This is your last chance for salvation. Not a lot of people think they're admitted. You'll have no memory of this life once you're in. Now that is a comment. That is for sure a comment. Southwest Michigan, you guys are looking good. We can go over there real quickly, but not much going on. We do that special weather statement for 40 or 50, 40 mile per hour winds. But that's all we have going on there. Those storms are very, very outflow dominant and are not going to pose any tornado threat. This is still the only tornado warned storm that we have. We have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings as well. One in Colorado, one in Kansas, one in West Virginia, another in Kansas, and one more in Pennsylvania. Storm ball hit Chicago, but thankfully I didn't lose power. Sounds like you may have been one of the lucky ones. There were actually quite a few power outages that were reported across the Chicago area. By the way, guys, I do want to show this real quick. We did just hit 33,000 subscribers. 33,003. So thank you guys so much for 33,000 subscribers. Almost like 4 months ago, I think we were only at 5,000 subscribers, which is still very respectable amount, but that has gone up very, very dramatically over the last few months, and we have now hit 33,000. So 33% of the way to that silver play button. You that triggered the 33,000th from Australia, bang. The 33,000 subscribers from Australia. How many people can say that? Yeah, once we hit 35,000 subscribers, which will almost certainly not happen today, my dad's going to send us a video of him doing the gritty. Then we'll see my dad hit the gritty, which is, trust me, not the greatest gritty in the world, but it's definitely a gritty. Still continuing to see broad rotation. A lot of this is contamination on our storm here. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning, including Baltimore County, Maryland. Or not severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, including Baltimore County, Maryland. That'll populate here in a second. But that warning is for a tornado and 1.75-inch sized hail. So here's that warning. Way, way in northern Michigan, just to the east of Westminster. Westminster. For a golf ball-sized hail and a radar-indicated tornado, this warning will be in effect for another 33 minutes. So if you're in this warning, there's probably a lot of you in the warning, actually. Let me take a look at this. NWS Tornado has not updated, but I'll let you know the population of that warning here in a second. But if you're in this tornado warning, go ahead and take shelter in the most interior room of your house. I don't think a lot of people around here have basements, but do what you can to protect yourself and your property. Head to your bathtub or any other interior room. Take a blanket with you, take your shoes, take your bike helmet. If you live in a mobile home, go ahead and leave your mobile home and seek a more sturdy shelter. The population of this tornado warning is 23,000. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that, but still a lot of people. We are now up to 3 tornado warnings as we just got another new tornado warning for our storm in Colorado. So that will be an extension of this warning for Washington County. This continues as a radar-indicated tornado warning until 6:45 p.m. Mountain Time. So now we got to bounce back and forth quite literally across the country looking at the 2 different tornado warnings we have. This storm is definitely rotating, looks actually slightly better than the storm that we have in Colorado, area of convergence here, and that is why this storm was tornado warned. I'm going to open up to this. Open up another radar Omega. Go over to our tornado warning in Colorado. And now we can just switch back and forth between the two warnings we have going on just by doing this. So, Maryland, Colorado. Maryland, Colorado. York, Pennsylvania, you guys look good. So if you're in Manchester, Greenmount, or Hampstead in Michigan, go ahead and take shelter. Or not Michigan, Maryland. Warning will be in effect until, I think it's, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. By the way, we are less than 1 minute away from being back down to 2 tornado warnings, but definitely a little bit of a sneaky supercell here that's actually in a 0% tornado risk. Back to our tornado warning in Akron, Colorado. You saying 9 p.m. just made me realize how late it is. Honestly, it does not feel as late as it is. 7:30 here, which is obviously not too late, but feels like it's like 5. Update on the Alaska tsunami. So there's no more tsunami warning. It did get downgraded pretty quickly to a tsunami advisory, and the maximum height of the tsunami was 0.2 feet. So nothing insane, but still a tsunami. Gonna go back to our tornado warning in Maryland. Take a look at that. Neither of these warnings, by the way, neither of these warnings have a correlation coefficient drop. The top fans thing does reset every single stream. Don't see any other storms really that have any sign of rotation. It's just the 2 that are tornado warned right now, one in Colorado and one in Maryland. Also, one thing to note on our storm in Maryland is it does look like it's starting to sort of turn and go more right hand, or have a more eastern motion instead of a northern motion. This is what a storm likes to do right before it attempts to produce a tornado. No tornado reports for either of these storms, by the way. And I'm now officially out of Baja Blast. Okay, in Minnesota looks like there's nothing going on. So Minnesota, you are 100% good. Marked safe from severe weather. Where's the tornado? We do not have any confirmed tornadoes right now. But we have 2 tornado warnings, one in Washington County, Colorado, and one in Baltimore and Carroll counties, Maryland. I honestly do not expect this storm in Colorado to continue to look as good as it does right now for much longer. And the one in Maryland is hopefully going to be short-lived as well. But we're going to have to wait and see. Back to our tornado warning in Maryland. They'll just have broad rotation on it, but could try to produce a tornado, hence why it is tornado warned. You ever cover storms in Canada? If there are storms in Canada to cover, we do talk about them. Sometimes we have storm chasers there as well, and we'll pull those fees if they're on a tornado warning storm in Canada. Hybrid Wayne, thanks for the $5 super chat. Anything to worry about in Indiana? Indiana, you're mostly done for the day, actually. The storms have almost completely moved through a large portion of Indiana, and they are quickly weakening where they do remain. So I don't think we have anything too crazy to worry about in Indiana. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat, by the way. Back to Colorado here. Still keeping an eye on correlation coefficient and ZDR for both of these storms. Nothing indicating there's a tornado on the ground with either of those yet. Have you been through a storm before? I have. I've seen multiple tornadoes as well. How's New Orleans looking? New Orleans is looking good. Not much going on down there in New Orleans. A couple of thunderstorms and flash flood. I think actually we have a slight flash flooding risk in the area as well, but that's it. Kansas City, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning there. It's allowed to continue for the next 24 minutes. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Honestly, I think the storm is mostly stationary, so we're probably going to see... Yeah, there's a lot of rain basically going on over the same areas over and over again. It's starting to take more of a eastern turn instead of dropping south. So we're probably going to start to see a flash flooding threat here in Kansas City. The storm in Colorado is just continuing to look weirder and weirder. Of course, it's kind of in the middle of radar nowhere, too, so that doesn't help. We did just get an update to our tornado warning in Maryland. It's just condensed it down and downgraded the hail threat with this to quarter-sized hail. That's 1 inch in diameter. But it'll be allowed to continue for the next 24 minutes as a radar-indicated tornado warning. Looking good in Ohio. Only 2 tornado warnings are in Colorado and Maryland right now. That's why we're sort of hitting on Colorado and Maryland so many times over and over again. The storm coming in Egypt? No idea. The above our head, by the way, that is still the tornado warned storm that we have in Colorado from storm chaser Ryan Scholl. So if there was a tornado on the ground, hopefully he'd be able to see it and we'd be able to confirm it. Back to our storm in Maryland, which still looks like it could certainly spin up a tornado here at any time. Wonder when the storms are going to end. Hopefully pretty soon, but we'll see. We will be here until the storm threat or at least the tornado threat wraps up. Both of our tornado-warned storms, I think, have actually moved out of the 2% risk for their areas. So we're already supposed to be at no tornado threat. We do still have, obviously, a tornado threat. Plainfield, Illinois, yes, you guys are good now. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Ford and Hodgman counties in Kansas. That is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than 0.75 inches in diameter sized hail. How's the outlook for Pennsylvania? Rather tame. Shouldn't see any tornado potential in Pennsylvania. Go back to our tornado warning in Maryland real quick. If you're in Hampstead or Greenmount or anywhere in between, the area of rotation is about to move directly overhead. So you've been under tornado warning for a while now. Hopefully you are in your safe spot, but if you're not, now is the time to do so. Tornado warning continues for another 20 minutes. This is once again back in Colorado. We've been going back and forth for quite a while now. You can take your helmet off in Los Angeles. Marked safe from tornadoes in Los Angeles. Still continuing to see that area of rotation here in Colorado. Tornado warning expires in 4 minutes. We're probably going to either get a continuation of that pretty soon here, or not a continuation, a new warning for this pretty soon, or the National Weather Service is going to decide that that no longer poses a tornado threat, and we're going to be back down to one tornado warning, which is this storm in Maryland, which is also starting to have a lot weaker rotation on it. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm sure there's plenty of you watching from Pittsburgh. There's now a severe thunderstorm warning, including all of Pittsburgh. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There will be no hail with this. However, gusty winds cannot be ruled out, hence why we have a severe thunderstorm warning. No tornado threat with that. Looks like we have canceled this tornado warning in Colorado, so we are back down to one tornado warning, and that is only in Maryland. So if you are in Colorado, you are safe to come out of your safe spot now. The storm has died off near Akron. So safe to come out of your safe spot. Good job for taking shelter there and treating it as if there was going to be a tornado. But now marked safe. So we are down to one tornado warning, which is in Maryland. It's also starting to look a lot less significant, although definitely could still produce a quick tornado. Indiana, yes, you're in the clear. Honestly, if you're not in this polygon, you're probably in the clear at this point. cat hair in the air. Can never escape cat hair. How about we don't let it ride in the center of the polygon? Warning is in effect for another 16 minutes, by the way. For those of you who are asking why the stream keeps going black, I have no idea what's going on. It sounds like that's an issue on YouTube's end. There's a couple other streamers I know that are saying they're having the same issue right now. So if the stream goes black, it's not on our side, unfortunately. Just go ahead and refresh the stream, and it should come back as usual. And that is 100% a city called Pretty Boy. Latest reflectivity scan still shows a hook echo. Velocity will be a couple of seconds behind that. You can probably start to see the beam here, maybe. No. We'll see the beam here in a second as the velocity starts to update, and we'll get a better look at what's going on. Oh, there it is. Beam came right as we were talking about it through Green Mountain, Hampstead, Maryland. It does look like the rotation is very quickly broadening out. Yeah, we got Pretty Boy. See, we got Pretty Boy, we got Boring. What other weird town names do we have? That's about it. Finksburg is a little silly as well. Good, just gonna keep it a buck. Oh. Zooming in on the middle of nowhere. We did just get an upgrade to our flash flood warning in Allegheny counties and Bath counties in Virginia. Here, just got stuck to my chair. The trucks. That is, I believe, this warning over here. Yes. So this is now up to an observed considerable flash flood warning. We do have a report of significant water flowing down East Morris Hill Road. So considerable flash flooding ongoing there. This warning will continue for the next 5.5 hours. 3 to 4 inches of rain has already fallen, and you may see another 2 inches in the area. So if you're in that area, make sure you are avoiding any flooded roadways. Turn around, don't drown. Tornado on the ground, Alaska. Press X to doubt. Ain't no tornado on the ground in Alaska. Do you think Radar Omega is better or weather-wise? Radar Omega is worlds better than weather-wise. I love, like, there's a reason I use Radar Omega on stream. I'm not tied to using any radar app. I can use literally whatever I want. Radar Omega looks pretty, it's easy to use, and it gets you all the information you need to use, like you need to see. The only other program I use besides Radar Omega is GR2, and that's ugly. Like, this is not a pretty program to look at. It looks like I'm using Windows XP, and that's because this is a program that's made to run on Windows XP. But Radar Omega is by far my program of choice. Was that soccer practice today when this happened? We're talking about the tornadoes earlier, or just like the event as a whole? So we've had 6 or 7 tornadoes today. What can Overland Park, Kansas expect? So Overland Park, you guys are in a severe thunderstorm warning. The storm is actually starting to drop off to the southeast. But definitely no rotation overhead. In fact, this is very, very outflow dominant. But no rotation on that. About 50 miles south of Maryland. Right now, the lightning is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning. A lot of lightning. Which signifies strong thunderstorms. Is that the good old legend Charlie Bordeaux in chat today? Guys, Charlie saw a tornado today in Wisconsin, an unwarned tornado. Charlie, if you're still here, can I show the clip from your stream that I posted on Corn Belt? We can go take a look at that tornado in Wisconsin. All right. So this is the tornado earlier that let's unmute this.
Oh my gosh,
this is a tornado earlier that Charlie Bordeaux saw. This was an unwarned tornado near Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
200 yards away. Gonna cross the highway up here.
See it right here.
This needs to be tornado warned. We have a tornado. Big tornado! Holy cow! Big tube!
That was near Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and was unwarned at the time. So W's in the chat for Charlie Bordeaux for being one of the only storm chasers to see that unwarned tornado. I believe CJ Ziegler was another storm chaser that was also on that tornado. But Wisconsin game was repping hard today on the tornadoes in Wisconsin. Vince did good. Charlie did good. CJ did good. W's in the chat for the Wisconsin tornado gang. Yeah, Charlie was in fact hyped for the tornado. Almost got skunked today as way out of play. Well, clearly you didn't. That's all that matters. Also, for those of you who are not subscribed to Charlie's YouTube channel, go head over there after the stream and subscribe to his channel. He's an amazing storm chaser. Sees almost all the tornadoes that happen in Wisconsin. Supposedly all. He's always there. If there's a tornado in Wisconsin, he's going to see it. So if you want to see tornadoes in Wisconsin, make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Wisconsin tornado equals Charlie Bordeaux. To the person on Twitter who just tagged me and asked if the earthquake in Alaska was caused by cloud seeding. No. Just no. No period. All caps. No period. Absolutely not. Those two things aren't even like correlated whatsoever. I will answer all questions on Twitter, weather related. But no, absolutely not. We did just get a new update from the Storm Prediction Center for today's convective outlook. I'll show you those once they generate on SPC Partners. But we are down to a marginal risk for the entirety of the country. Also, by the way, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but I am wearing new glasses today. The exact same pair as my old glasses, just cleaner and not scratched. I'll sell my old glasses on eBay for $12,000. You gotta sign them? Actually, funny enough, I don't even have to sign them. I don't even know if I can show this. I don't think my camera's gonna focus on it. But they do in fact say my name on them. Yeah, you definitely can't see that. But they already say Dibble on them, so they're basically already signed. And also to pre-fire your questions, even though they are clear glasses, I am very blind without them. It's written on my driver's license that I have to wear my glasses. Otherwise, I can't drive. It's how much I can't see. Tornado warning in Maryland, by the way, is going to be allowed to expire 6 minutes from now if they don't issue a continuation of that. Southern Maryland, severe weather. Not much going on in Southern Maryland as of yet, though. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings in Virginia that are eventually going to move into Maryland. Those are going to be producing up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. We do have a tornado warning, however, in Northern Maryland for Hampstead and Greenmount. I'll give you a large fry, but only on Free Fry Friday. Free Fry Friday is a national holiday. There are 52 national holidays per year called Free Fry Friday. A lot of people asking about Kansas City. We'll go over to Kansas City real quick. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. We did get an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning off to the southeast, but honestly, the storm is like quite stationary. And it does look like it is going to pose a significant flash flooding threat where we see this train over the same spot. Hopefully, we see this get slapped off to the southeast here pretty soon. In Dodge City, you are also... Wow, we're just playing radar tag, basically. Also under a severe thunderstorm warning that just recorded a 74-mile-per-hour gust. So, currently a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for winds up to 70 miles per hour. This is more than less likely going to be upgraded to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for up to 80-mile-per-hour winds. So Dodge City, if you're in Dodge City, you can expect to hear tornado sirens pretty soon for a destructive severe thunderstorm. I would expect that warning to be issued here shortly. Guys, I swear to God, if this is a destructive severe thunderstorm, this might be a moment in history. Pre-fired, destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Dodge City, Kansas for 80-mile-per-hour winds. Look at me go. I can read METAR data. So Dodge City, Kansas, you are now under a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for up to 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is a particularly, or I wonder if it's tagged as anything. It is not, but it's not tagged as an extremely dangerous situation. However, we like to say that this is a particularly dangerous situation nonetheless because it is the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning. But this is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than a tornado warning. Did my mic pop? It's not supposed to do that, for the record. Sorry if the mic popped. Oh, I think the mic popped because I accidentally unplugged my amp with my foot. So, whoops. Won't do that again. Back to our tornado warning in Maryland, where it's continuing to look less and less significant. Expires in 2 minutes, and I'd expect that warning to be canceled as it we'll expect that to be canceled just because it's going through a merger. So we're going to wait until this warning expires over here. Yeah, so this is confirmation that this is going to expire. They just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the storm with a tornado possible tag for the next 32 minutes. By issuing this warning, they're basically saying that it's not going to be tornado warned. So we're going to go over to our destructive severe thunderstorm warning in Dodge City, Kansas. This is for a confirmed 80-mile-per-hour winds. We had a 74-mile-per-hour gust reported as of the last METAR update 7 minutes ago. So could be winds stronger than that. I wonder what the velocities look like on radar. Yeah, definitely some very strong winds ongoing. We can see well behind the storm we have values upwards of 60 miles per hour, and right next to the radar site where it's basically scanning on ground level, that is in fact 90 mile per hour winds on that radar scan, all the way up to 100 miles per hour. I do not think this is producing all the way that high, up to 100 mile per hour winds, but nonetheless, it's probably a strong microburst ongoing here in Dodge City, Kansas. If you're in Dodge City, this is a very dangerous situation. This is going to produce damage that's very comparable to a tornado. It's going to be more widespread than a tornado. We can see using the measure tool that the wind field's basically stretching 8 miles wide. So we're going to have effectively an 8-mile wide EF1, EF2 level tornado go through Dodge City, Kansas. It's not a tornado. It's just a thunderstorm, but it is producing wind speeds comparable to a tornado. So that is why we're so locked in on this, because it's going to be a very significant situation with a lot of damage unfolding in Dodge City, Kansas. Hutchinson, Minnesota, you guys are looking good. I wonder if we're going to see an upgrade to 90 mile per hour winds. We'll probably have an update from that ASOS here with a updated wind gust or max wind gust, but I would not be surprised if we're seeing winds well over 80, maybe into 90, 95 mile per hour range. New radar scan coming. We'll take a look at the velocities once that warning updates. I'm going to take my other radar over here as well so I can have that up in the background. Definitely a very large wind field on this storm. All right, we should have a new update on velocity now. We're going to go back in with the inspect tool and see that we still have a very large damaging wind field of 70 to 80 miles per hour. Right next to the radar site where we are going to have contaminated values, it's still 90 to 100 miles per hour. Once again, those are probably not entirely accurate. There's going to be a lot of ground contamination ongoing with that. But we do still have a very large wind field upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Wonder if we have. Do not think we have a camera view of this storm. May have some camera views of our storms in Colorado. We did just get another severe thunderstorm warning here in and around Dodge City. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour winds. That is for this storm right here, which is also appearing to go through some sort of microburst or downburst transformation. Pulling up a new camera in Colorado here. So Ryan Scholl is ending, so we'll go over to this camera in Colorado. Seymour, Indiana, we are not expecting a tornado. The reason that we're looking at this severe thunderstorm warning in Dodge City, Kansas is because this is the most significant storm that we have ongoing right now. We have two considerable severe thunderstorm warnings also in Kansas, and those are also right here. Other than that, we only have general severe thunderstorm warnings around the rest of the country. We have one in Maryland, Illinois, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Missouri, and 3 in Virginia. And now one in New Mexico. So that warning in New Mexico is to the southwest of Mosquero, or Mosquero. We're going to call it Mosquero. That'll do. Lewis, Kansas, you are not going to have another tornado. I'll be right back. I am back. Good to see you by me walking in the background. Had to grab another Coke. I say another, I haven't had a Coke yet today. Ran out of Baja Blast. Now we gotta have Coke. Which is better than Baja Blast for the record. Late tornado possible is correct. Dr. Pepper is not better, and I will die on that hill. It's interesting to see our boundary here from the outflow from these storms as well as our front that we have in the area. Definitely producing a lot of cold winds. Also, I do just want to show this real quick. This is where Ryan Scholl's feed froze. What a beautiful view. No update from that ASOS yet. Max wind gust reported so far is still 74 miles per hour. We scroll through my damage reports and see if we have anything new from the area. We actually do have an update from the Dodge City ASOS. Sounds like we may have had wind speeds all the way up to 77 miles per hour now. And as I said that, we just had a new update from that. It's 78.3 mile per hour wind speeds as of 26 seconds ago. So Dodge City, Kansas, we know for a fact that you are experiencing wind speeds up to 80 miles per hour right now. So a very, very damaging storm over Dodge City, Kansas. Anyone who thinks Diet Coke is better than Coke is insane, for the record. Absolute insanity. And Pepsi over Coke or Diet Coke, that's even more insane. If there's anyone in Dodge City, Kansas right now, and you can safely get a video from the inside of your house of the damaging winds that this is producing, feel free to tag me on Twitter at Simco12_WX. Also, if you don't follow me on Twitter already, there's a link to that down in the description below. Are going to go ahead and take a look at Kansas City right now as well, where you still have a severe thunderstorm warning, and we talked about this, and there are now a ton of flash flooding reports coming out of the Kansas City area. So may see a flash flood warning here, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is allowed to continue for the next 21 minutes. But this is still the most significant storm that we have going on right now. Is there anyone who knows anyone in Dodge City, Kansas? I'm interested to know if the tornado sirens are going off for this destructive severe thunderstorm. Red Bull is better than any drink? See, that's facts. Too bad Red Bull is terrible for you and has loads of caffeine. I'm not even kidding. If they drink a, or if they made a non-caffeinated Red Bull, bro, that'd be like crack. Just drink more water. This is how much water I've drinking today. I've had 2 of these. I have a Stanley there, and 2 more Stanleys over there. We drink plenty of water around here. Any storms for St. Louis, Missouri tonight, tomorrow? Nothing too significant. May have a few scattered thunder boomers. I just snort coffee beans. See, now that is insanity. I actually have chocolate-covered coffee. Wow. Just pulled out some New York accent right there. Some chocolate-covered coffee beans right here from Costa Rica. I can have like 3 of those a day. That's it. I'm surprised they don't have any cameras in Dodge City. Maryland did have a tornado warning. They do not now. We just got sent some pictures from Kathleen of the storm in Kansas City. Definitely a very beautiful thunderstorm. That's for sure. And wow, look at that. The timing of this picture is immaculate. I've tried lightning photography so many times, and I've never gotten a shot like this. This was 49 minutes ago in Cloverdale, Indiana, in the whale's mouth. That's what we call this area here. This is just the basic vorticity that we have underneath a storm when it makes its way past you. So this would be what you see as the shelf cloud. And this is a whole area basically between the precipitation core and the shelf cloud. This is another picture. Wow, I'm behind on pictures. My tweet deck was not updating. This is from Vixen K in Greenwood, Indiana. Beautiful picture of the top of a thunderstorm and the shadow it produces as the sun is setting over the overshooting top. I guess not the overshooting top, the cumulus tower from a thunderstorm in Greenwood, Indiana. Got a new considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Wow, we got quite the cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings in and around Dodge City right now. But this will be in effect for another 46 minutes for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Looking for any other notable reports that we got in recently. A lot more reports coming out of Natural Well, Virginia, flash flooding. That's a considerable flash flood warning that's going to be continuing for the next 4 hours and 45 minutes over there. Our destructive severe thunderstorm warning has just been... Oh, hasn't populated here yet. There it's populated. Has now been downgraded to a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds. How's it going, James? I know there's sensors you can get for DSLR cameras that trigger it automatically for lightning. I've looked into getting those. The issue is I don't have, like, my own DSLR. Whenever I want a DSLR, I just steal my mom's. And I really have only used that for taking aurora pictures. Other than that, I just use my phone. Actually, last time I took aurora pictures, let me see if I can find some of these real quick. I took them with my drone, and they were quite possibly the best aurora pictures I've ever taken. Let me send these to my computer here real quick. So I took this with my DJI Mini 3. That's what I used to take aurora pictures last time I took it. Obviously, this was quite a while ago when we had that G5. But this is what my drone pictures looked like of the auroras without any editing at all. This is literally the raw picture from the drone. So, if you ever want to take aurora pictures and it's nice and dark, apparently use your drone, because clearly it works very, very well. Dragonflies892, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. We did just get a flash flood warning issued for Dodge City, Kansas. This is currently just a base flash flood warning. I would expect this to be upgraded to considerable eventually. Between 1 to 2 inches of rain has fallen, and 1 to 2 additional inches of rain are expected. That picture, by the way, was from, I think, May of 2024. Michigan, we do have scattered thunderstorms going on across Michigan. None of these are severe and or posing a tornado threat, but we do have a wind threat up to 40 miles per hour. Maybe a little higher than that. Highest wind threat right now is in Dodge City, Kansas. We did just get 2 new flash flood warnings, one for Manitowoc County in Wisconsin, and a very large one that includes Stafford, Fauquier, Prince Williams, Manus Park, Fairfax, and Manus counties in Virginia. To my mom, who's probably watching and lived in Virginia, I'm sorry I botched every single one of those county names. But that's okay. I tried. Live in Dodge City, Kansas? Well, there's definitely a considerable severe thunderstorm that's warned 4 separate times ongoing in Dodge City right now. I got Fairfax. There we go. She says you got it. I'm impressed with myself then, because those were some challenging county names, I'm not going to lie. Mostly Fauquier. I'm from Dodge City, live on the northeast side. My rain, nothing else. My grandma is on the west side and getting a good amount of hail and rain. That checks out. Fauquier. I like Fauquier a little better. I've seen it's a little extra. A lot of flash flood warnings. We have 19 flash flood warnings across the country right now. I believe our only tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning is that one in Maryland. Actually, it looks like we now have no tornado possible warnings. Nope, we do. It is that one in Maryland. I was blind the first time. So we still have one tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. That is over in Maryland. That is this warning right here. This is going to expire in 10 minutes if it doesn't get canceled before that, and I do not expect a new tornado possible. Actually, this may get tornado warned now that I look at velocity. This has made a resurgence in the last scan. I do expect that a little bit of that is contamination, but if that does stick around for another scan, and it did not, W. Don't listen to me. That's why you look at more than one scan, so probably not going to see a new tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning over there. Look at this. We literally have stacking wind reports. 77 and 78 from the Dodge City, Kansas area. Max's pronunciations of Wisconsin cities was very enjoyable. Waukesha was the one that I was like, dang, bro, Waukesha. Like, I feel like Waukesha is not that hard. Gonna switch out the camera we have to one that's in Maryland. This is courtesy of the Maryland Department of Transportation. This is I-83 north at 33 York Road. Fond du Lac, Fond du Lac, all the weird pronunciations of that one as well. That camera, by the way, is next to the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in Maryland. Got steps going into my trailer, so I ain't got to worry about flooding. Always have to worry about flooding, no matter how sturdy you think your structure is. Even 3 inches of fast-moving water can sweep you and or a structure off its foundation. We are back down to only severe thunderstorm warnings. We have no tornadoes, possible severe thunderstorm warnings. Just got an alert on my phone from NWS Tsunami Alerts. Another magnitude 5.0 earthquake 55 miles southeast of Sand Point. Tsunami not expected. So that is another earthquake. That is an aftershock of the 7.3 magnitude earthquake we had earlier. We are not expecting a tsunami from this earthquake. Yeah, definitely a lot of lightning and thunder in Maryland. We'll go over to Maryland real quick and just look at the storms that we have in the area. Any of these white lightning strikes that you see are active lightning within the last 5 minutes. The tsunami did end up hitting earlier. It was not a significant tsunami by any means. The maximum height of said tsunami was 0.2 feet. We can look at Kansas City real quick. We have a lot of reports of flash flooding. Did get a delayed report of 1-inch sized hail that damaged a vehicle. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch sized hail that expires in 5 minutes from now. I still think we're probably going to see a flash flood warning for this area at some point in time. We now have no severe thunderstorm warnings in Colorado, by the way. We basically only have these strange thunderstorms that are going on near our fronts in Kansas. It's got an update to a flash flood warning that includes Vinton, Jackson, Meigs, Mason, and Gallia counties in Ohio. That flash flood warning is over here. So that will be allowed to continue for another hour and 19 minutes as a radar indicated flash flood warning. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning, or an updated severe thunderstorm warning in San Miguel and Harding counties in New Mexico. That's for 1-inch sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is a picture that we were sent from Bloomington, Indiana, from 40 minutes ago. Mean shelf cloud. So, not current, but 40 minutes ago, that was associated most likely with one of our special weather statement storms. So, just a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing across the country right now. Most of them are in Kansas. We're going to stick around until at least this warning is allowed to expire or they issue a new severe thunderstorm warning around Kansas City. Maryland is doing good. No more severe thunderstorm warnings in Maryland. No tornado warnings either. Dadgum, Kansas? I forget that's even a real town. I remember one time someone said that. I'm like, there's no way that's a real town. I couldn't find it on Radar Omega. I looked after stream and I actually found the location on Google Maps, but Radar Omega does not have that for whatever reason. Have you ever done other coding products? I have. One minute left. Actually, they just canceled it, so we now have no severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas City. It's been replaced with a special weather statement for winds up to 40 miles per hour. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the radar picture across the company, or the radar picture across the country. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning in New Mexico for 1-inch sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Still have quite a few around the Dodge City, Kansas area. One in Michigan, or not Michigan, Missouri, that's going to expire in 1 minute and that will not be reissued. Another one in Indiana that also expires in 1 minute that seems like it will not be reissued as well. And none over on the East Coast as of right now. So in a really quick second here, we're going to be down to about, I think, 4 or 5 severe thunderstorm warnings. We are down to 4 severe thunderstorm warnings now. So with that being said, our tornado threat and our damaging wind threat is really quickly wrapping up here. We still only have considerable severe thunderstorm warnings near Dodge City, Kansas, and a lot of those are getting downgraded. So if you're in and around Dodge City, Kansas, keep an eye out for a scattered wind gust over the next couple of hours, but it is definitely wrapping up. And I'm going to go ahead and get off here now that our tornado threat is over and work on a few other things. We have a bunch of projects behind the scenes that we have to get figured out by the next time Max goes live. This giant cluster of wires that you see here is actually going to be part of a new light controller we're building to have a little bit extra control and do a little bit more with all the lights in Max's studio. And all this stuff takes time. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had 37,000 of you tune in today. We passed 33,000 subscribers. We're up to 33,262 as of now. If you're new to the channel, not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're here quite frequently after Max streams as long as the severe weather threat continues. But until the next time we stream, which is probably looking like it's going to be either Saturday or Sunday for a sneaky tornado threat up in the Dakotas, there's not going to be much going on. We have a marginal risk tomorrow and the day after that as well. That's both our day 2 and 3 risks. But whenever that wraps up and the weather gets active, you will see me here again. We are working on videos for this channel as well, and some members-only content that will come out shortly. Hopefully within the next few weeks here. So thank you guys so much to those of you who tuned in, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.